back in the summer of '69. It's Bryan Adams, isn't it? Isn't Bryan Adams a Canadian? I think he is. What about Celine Dion? Can I sing any of her songs? Nope. Mariah Carey, is she Canadian? Don't know. However, I'm relatively proud I don't know any of her songs. How about some famous Canadian? I know. Bruce Springsteen. He'll be a famous Canadian. Born in the USA. I was born in the USA. Shot my first skink when I hit the ground. Born in the USA. That's Canadian, isn't it? Never mind. We're in Canada. We have left the USA and are in Canada. Cool. And it's windy. It's been windy basically since we left Iowa, and headwind the whole time. Oh, there might be some cyclists coming our way. Haven't seen any of those for a long time. So yeah, we caught the well, welcome to the wee Wednesday blether, by the way. It's Saturday, Canadian Labour Day weekend, and yep, that's a club ride. Cool. Yeah. They're commenting on the tailwind that they have and the headwind that we have. Anyhow, as I said, we are in by far what is North America's geographically largest country. Sorry, Mexico, I know it hurts you not to be considered that. But yeah, we crossed Lake Michigan from Wisconsin on the ferry. Hello, Sharon. Which was a nice and fun exercise. It's just a wee puddle jumper, the boat, catamaran. But gosh, it got up and moved. We're over there in 3 hours. Said goodbye to our friends from Wisconsin who came over with us on the ferry. So that was kind of cool. And then we got off our bikes, and it was about 10:30 at night, and we pedaled off into the darkness in search of a camping ground that had a letterbox, and in the letterbox was an envelope with our name and instructions. A little bit tricky in the dark, but it was a beautiful night. We camped 1, 2, 3 nights by lakes. Michigan camping grounds are quite expensive, except for the one. Stayed at Otter Lake. We have been riding all day, watching clouds all around us, and in the last 20 yards, big heavy drops started to fall, and we rushed in under a shelter, and then wham, it peed down. For 3 hours we sat underneath that shelter, cooking our lunch, writing our logs, me reading Anne of Green Gables, and waiting for that rain to subside. Michigandans are interesting people to cycle past. They kind of look at you and they go, well, you can see them thinking, that's a bicycle, that's a person, they're hauling a lot of weight on that. If I smile, it'll hurt them. I better turn around just in case I do. Never get a smile, never get a wave in Michigan. Quite a cycle unfriendly place, although there were a couple of good bicycle paths. We stayed in a Warm Showers in Bay City. I'm told that's not the home of the Bay City Rollers, but I don't care, I'll call it Bay Cityville, Bay City Rollersville for here on in. The Warm Showers hosts happen to be Evie Free pastors, and so that was kind of cool. For the kids, we got onto baby minding duties eventually. That was fun. Not quite as fun as reading children's goodnight stories in Wisconsin. And by the way, Grayson, I've seen a lot of wazza things on this road, mostly wazza coons, but a few wazza deer, and I even saw some real live coons today. So but lots of wazza things. Michigan also had wazza towns. Anyhow, we come out of Bay City Rollersville after enjoying good company, and we cycled to Yale. Yale was cool because another cyclist had told us about this hotel in Yale, and we cycled to that and had to haul our luggage minus the bikes up 3 flights of stores, but it was a pub. The whole town of Yale pretty much lives on Garth Brooks. The pub was Blair and Garth Brooks, the cafe was Blair and Garth Brooks, the hardware store, or was that the gun shop? It's hard to tell the difference. It was Blair and Garth Brooks. It was cool, but I got over Garth Brooks quite quickly. Basically, the hotel or the pub, a woman seems to be renovating it room by room and trying to cut a living, and we being cyclists got unrenovated rooms, but she gives cyclists a $10 discount. So that's Yale Hotel. It's still a wee bit expensive in comparison to camping, but it was a wonderful experience. And I asked if they did breakfast because we were going to have a relatively big day the next day, and next thing I know, she's organised the cafe across the road to open half an hour early for us, which was 6:30, which is a bit later than we'd like. We went over there and ordered breakfast, and basically some people are surprised by how much we eat, and by the time we ordered all of our pancakes and our sausages and our eggs, the lady's eyebrow was quite high, trying to work out if we'll really eat that. But we wolfed it down with a whole heap of coffee, bottomless cups of coffee and ice water, and got on the road and headed east and south. We had a wee bit of a tailwind when we were heading south that day. We crossed into the United States from Marine City on a ferry that makes the Smeltini's ferries look like the Queen Mary 2 or some luxury cruise liner. But you know, I'd heard of the Missouri, I'd heard of the Mississippi, but I hadn't heard of the St. Clair River, and it's a gorgeous river. It was really clean, it was fast flowing, it was big. They put ocean liners up that sucker. So yeah, skip the Mississippi, skip the Missouri, get to Canada and see the St. Clair. As soon as we jumped into Canada, oh, there's an apple orchard over there, lots of red apples ready to pick. As soon as we jumped into Canada, it was like we jumped into a different planet. People were so much more laid back, people were smiling, people were waving. It was a bit like being in Montana. I did say different planet, didn't I? People were wanting to talk to you, ask you where you'd been. Yeah, Ontario, definitely a different culture to across the river. In the Michigan, we stopped for lunch right on the St. Clair, and a retired fella riding his giant bicycle stopped and asked us a few questions, and to cut a long story short, he ended up inviting us home. We pitched our tent in his garage. They invited us in for hamburgers and cooked us a good breakfast and sent us out in the morning. The next day was also to be a longer day, and it was a windy day, a bit like today. These have been perhaps our 2 windiest days. I'm currently doing 8 miles an hour on the flat, and I left Sharon behind me somewhere. And we cycled, and we were on a detour for cars, so it was a busy road, busy trucks, and sometimes we're only doing as much as like 7 miles an hour. On a tailwind we'll do like 16 miles an hour. And we went and we got to a place called Clairville, Clairville, and we turned off for a mile. We're down to a camping ground, but they're going to charge 34 Canadian dollars, and we have already spent quite a bit on accommodation. So Sharon said no, which was cool. We went up to Scout Camp, couldn't find anybody to give us permission to camp there. So we jumped on the road. We asked some people sitting in a pickup truck on the side of the road, free legal camping. They gave us good advice on where to get illegal camping. And we go a wee bit further along and saw a sign, Pentecostal Assemblies of Canada. And it looked like a trailer park or a camping ground or something like that. And so we're a bit guilty of thinking every church building belongs to us. And so we turned around, whipped down there, a whole lot of people sitting around a campfire, and we asked them if we could camp. And we went up through the chain of authority, back down it again, and eventually we camped on a beautiful field, had a free shower and a restroom in the morning, windy, so no dew. So I had a wonderful night. That was last night. Didn't really want to leave there this morning. And now we've been nearly 30 miles in this wind. This morning we're heading towards Port Stanley, and perhaps one of my oldest North American friends is picking us up at Port Stanley and taking us into London, where we'll have 2 days off the bike. So I think that concludes. I don't know what I've forgotten until I remember it, and then I haven't forgotten it anymore. But yeah, I'll post this soon, and if anybody can actually send me some Canadian songs. Neil Young, he was Canadian, wasn't it? It's a wonder tall trees ain't falling down. There comes a time. There's a famous Canadian who did good music. Okay, you got a Neil Young fan here. Bye bye, girls, and we'll catch you next Wednesday, or whenever the wee Wednesday weather will be. Bye bye.